We Gonna Blow G says, what's up, Freeze, man? How has life tested your confidence? Because I know me as a man with a physical disability, how would one deflect the haters, man, figure out how to make it fall on deaf ears or something? See, what you got to understand is that even if you were perfect, somebody is going to have a negative opinion about you. If you feeling some type of way, if that's affecting your confidence, it's because you're putting more value into their opinions than you are about your belief in yourself. Because one thing you know for sure is that you know yourself better than anybody who has a negative opinion about you, right? They don't know you nearly half as good as you know yourself. So because you know yourself so well, you understand your value. You understand what makes you important. You understand what makes you powerful. You understand what you're capable of, right? So because you understand these things, you got to keep in mind, you got to ask yourself, if somebody say something to you about your disability, right? How does that change who you are? How does that change what you're capable of? How does that change your power? Because yeah, you might have a particular physical disability, but that one physical disability doesn't compare to the endless abilities that you do have. You talking about one disability versus a million abilities, right? See, you magnifying that disability and making it bigger than what it really is. When you putting a magnifying glass on that disability, it's going to look bigger than what it actually is, right? But when you take the magnifying glass away from that disability, and at the same time that you see that disability, you see all the abilities that you have, that disability is going to be much smaller in the grand scheme of things, right? You got to look at it from that standpoint. Don't forget your value. Don't forget what you're capable of. Don't forget your power. Don't forget what makes you important. And once you keep that firmly imprinted on your mind, hey man, fuck what somebody else got to say. And then furthermore, this is what you got to understand, right? Hey, them people, everybody who got something to say about your disability, they have a disability they damn self. They have a weakness themselves. So in order to pacify their weakness, they try to rob you of your strength, right? Because see, people that's in tune with their strength, people that's not, driven by weakness, hey man, we don't have time to like try to nitpick at somebody and focus on somebody's imperfections and try to magnify that and put the focus on that and put a lot of energy into that. People that aren't driven by weaknesses, we don't do that. So you got to think about that. That's what you're not thinking about too. That's another thing to make you feel some type of way whenever somebody say something to you about your disability. But this what I want you to keep in mind. Next time somebody say something to you about your disability, keep that in mind. Think about why they taking the time out to do that. Happy people. People that love theyself. Ask yourself if any of the people that that love theyself would take out the time to do something like that. Nah, man. That's somebody that's miserable. That's somebody that don't like theyself. And people who don't like theyself, the only way they can even halfway for a split second get a taste of what it feels like to like theyself is to get you to join them in their misery. You know what I mean? Especially if they see you happy. They over there like, oh, this over here with this disability, man. He over there smiling and shit and enjoying life, man. Fuck this nigga, man. I'm finna say something to him, man. I'm finna make him join me in my misery, man. I'm over here. I ain't got no physical disabilities, man. And he's still over there happier than me, man. Fuck that. I'm finna make him join me in my misery. That's how you got to look at it, because that's really what it is. They want you to join them in their misery because they have a disability to their damn self. And what it is an inability to be happy, an inability to love themselves, an inability to appreciate their life. See, this one thing about being happy, right? It's infectious. It's contagious. You want other people to be happy. When you really happy, you don't want to just be happy by yourself. You want to make the people around you happy too. If you strong, you don't want to just be strong by yourself. You want to make the people around you strong too. You want to empower them. You dig? So again, like I said, the next time somebody say something to you about your, don't get distracted by what they saying. Look past what they saying and see who's saying it and understand how weak that person is, how small that person is, how miserable that person is. That's what they are. That's what it takes for somebody to do that. It take a small, weak, miserable person to point out something about you that's irrelevant. Like what that got to do with anything? What that got to do with me handling my business? What that got to do with me being great? What that got to do with you being great? Why you focused on that? Why you worried about that? You need me to pray for you, man? What's happening? You know what I mean? You need some change? I'll give you a few dollars. You hungry? You want something to eat, man? What's going on? Yeah, have you eaten today? You know what I mean? You need to take a shower or something, man? What's going on? You funky? What's happening, man? You know, that's how you handle that, man. Shit. Like I said, man, the next time somebody say something to you about that, keep in mind, they smaller than you. They weaker than you. They more miserable than you. That's why they saying something to you, because they trying to make you as small, weak, and miserable as they are. They want you to join them. So when they say shit like that, man, you got to carry your own weather with you wherever you go, man. You got to carry that sunshine with you no matter where you at. Even when you go into the darkest places around the darkest people, you got to keep that weather with you, man. You can't let them phase you and adopt their weather and get up under their clouds. Hell no. What you look like doing that? You dig? But like I said, man, next time somebody say something to you about that shit, keep that in mind. Next time somebody say something to you about that shit, you're going to be like, this small motherfucker. Po baby. They so small and weak and tender. Oh, look at this. Oh, they so small and so weak and so sad and so miserable. They just had to say something to me about me. Oh, look at this little soft mother. This little weak baby. Oh, you know? Right. And that be killing me, because I know they didn't face what I face. I'm fly and I fly high. You right, man. For real. I'm very valuable. I'm tired of pressing people, you know. Yeah, man. You ain't got to press nobody, man. Shit. You just got to keep in mind they not what they appear to be. They're a lot smaller than how they look. You know what I mean? You know how when you look in the rearview mirror, it makes stuff look bigger than what it really is? That's how them people be, man. Dig this. I've been stroking relentless, took in waves like this. I spoke into existence for her to pay like this. In the trenches on a day like this, traffic consistent, and so I have to insist that she relay my chips. It's a trap with her name on it and my game on it. Any forces coming against this game, shame on it. Standing on my pimpin' from day one and remain on it. It carried me through every terrain and I gained on it. Experience joy and pain on it, sustained on it.
But getting back to this game that I never left.
Baby,